which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
A land of what?
Out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
Most High God say, I am the Lord your God who has brought you out of the house of slaves. America is that modern day Egypt today. America is that modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. America is that modern day Babylon, which is the land of confusion. America is the only place on this earth where you can come to be a homosexual. America is the only place on this earth where you can come to be an LGBT. Everybody fleeing here to be gay. They teaching your children it's okay for a man and a man to be bumping sticks. They're teaching your children it's okay for a woman and a woman to be bumping pelvises. What type of society would teach your children this? But you know what? You got a lot of these Negroes around here okay with this. Because you know why? They homosexuals themselves. They destroyed in their mind themselves. That's why the Most High God said he got to destroy 2/3 of his people. Read. Deuteronomy 28:68. Read that out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Most High God said his chosen people for disobeying his commandments, for breaking the covenant. He said, I'm going to send you into Egypt, which is slavery, again by the means of slave ships. When you got to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and punch out and stop your alarm clock, you got to take a shower, fix a cup of coffee, take the train downtown to Manhattan to downtown Brooklyn. They're going to work and serve your oppressor. They're going to serve these pale-faced dogs over here that's in this car over here to make them money. But you know what? The Most High God say, these devils, they're going to be our lapdogs soon. They're going to be scrubbing our toilets. They're going to be in a cotton field, working 24 hours, 6 days a week, with their skin peeling like a chameleon. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Most High God say, by the way thereof, that you will not see it again. That's our homeland, which is Jerusalem. America is not our home. Jamaica is not our home. Puerto Rico is not your home. See, you come from Spain. Spain, the Spanish are the Tarshish, according to the Bible. Those are the off-breeds of the so-called white man. They raped our women and they had off-breeds of them over there. That's why you see the so-called Hispanics look like the so-called white man, but they speak Spanish. And Spanish, when you say you Spanish, that means you're the property of Spain. Look it up. That means you're a slave. When we call ourselves African and American, we're naming ourselves after 2 different slave owners. Americo Vespucci and Scipio Africanus. You're naming yourselves after slaves. They stripped us of our names, which is, we are Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Asher, Zebulun, Benjamin, Ephraim. Those are our true tribal names. Get ready for slavery, dog. Get ready for slavery. Go tell your daddy I said that. Tell your daddy thus says the Lord. The real Hebrew Israelites are here. The real Jews are here. And they know that we are the real Jews. Read.
There thou shalt be sold unto your enemy.
What the Most High God say?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
What the Most High God say?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
The Most High God say, I'm going to sell you unto your enemies. Read that again real quick, because that just went by a lot of our people's ears. Read that again. We're going to be sold to who?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
Our friends?
Your enemy.
Our brothers?
Your enemy.
Our neighbors?
Your enemy.
Most High God said you're going to be sold to your enemies. You see, the so-called white man is not our friend. The so-called white man is not our neighbor. The so-called white man is not our buddy. The Most High God called him what?
Your enemy.
Our what?
Your enemy.
Those are our enemies. Your brother would not put you in a cotton field, put your children in a cotton field, working 24 hours, 7 days a week. Your brother would not rape your wife in front of you and dare you to do anything about it. You can't do nothing about it. Your brother would not rape you in front of your family, degrading you of your manhood and your dignity in front of your family. Your brother would not sell you unto other nations. That's your enemy. Give me the book of Deuteronomy 12, 32 and 7. See, that's the problem with our people. We don't know history. You see, they believe whatever they, on this television that the so-called white man has put to keep us in a docile state of mind. Do anybody know what the word docile means? That means destroyed. We are in a destroyed state of mind. See, in the slavery, they had physical shackles around their neck, according to the Bible, according to the curse. But now they got the shackles on our mind, because we still walk around here calling ourselves Puerto Rican, African American, Jamaican, Venezuelan, Colombian. Well, when they took you to these lands, the so-called white man that conquered those lands, they named the lands after their own names. That's in the Bible. Well, we're going to get there. Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7.
Read.
Remember the days of old.
What the Most High God say?
Remember the days of old.
What the Most High God say?
Remember the days of old.
He's telling his people that you need to remember what happened to you. You need to remember what happened to your grandfather. You need to remember what happened to your grandmother. You need to remember what happened to your mother. You need to remember what happened to your father, your brothers, your sisters, your children. Remember the days of old. Nobody don't even know what happened in 1914, 1917, 1730. So you can go back to history. See, that's what the Most High God wants. He's trying to recollect to our memory what happened. He's trying to recollect to our memory where we at. We're in captivity. We are in the land of our oppressor. Can anybody out here say that they had peace in their life living in America? Can anybody actually say that their children had peace living in America? That they've been treated fairly in America? Can anybody say that? Because if you are, you're a liar. See, that's a liar. You see, he got his face so far in the white man's ass he could taste his crumbs. See, that's the problem with our people. That's a slave right there. See, he's Puerto Rican. You see, he's from the tribe of Ephraim, but he wanted to be in a white man's lap. See, this is a project of a slave. See, he don't want to be for his people. He want to be for Trump. He want to sit in Trump lap, call him daddy, rub the back of his head. But see, he's going to be destroyed just like the rest of America. Read on out. Give me Deuteronomy. Let's go back to the curses. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 29. You see, our people walk around here groping at noonday, man. They don't even know that they groping at noonday. They walk around here with gloves on their hands, mask on their face. These young brothers around here, these Issachar brothers, Ephraim brothers, these Puerto Ricans and blacks, they walk around here, don't even know that they're God's chosen people. Our sisters are the most greatest thing walking on this planet. But they don't even know. You know why? Because the so-called white man taught them that they was whores. The so-called white man told them that the only way you're going to get away in life is bending over and dropping it like it's hot. See, this is what the so-called white man has done to our so-called black women. They destroyed our sisters. And then the sisters turn against the brothers and destroy them. You know why? Because they turn them into whoremongers. They continue to be backbiters. They continue to run their mouth. They continue to be unsubmissive. Well, all these is laws in the Bible for our sisters. That's what their whole project is, to destroy the whole black family, the whole Hispanic family. But our people, we don't read. We don't do research. But we here to wake up our people today. Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 29.
Read.
And thou shalt grope at noonday.
What the Most High God say?
And thou shalt grope at noonday.
We groping, man. We groping at noondays, groping at night, groping in the evening, groping when you wake up in the morning. Because you waking up to oppression again. None of our people out here can say that they've been at peace since they was born here. None of our people can say they've been treated equally since they was born here. Your children aren't even treated equally in school. Because we see it every day on Facebook, social media. Every day they get harassed and arrested by these police officers, by these white supremacists, Edomites. They're being slammed on the ground, thrown down steps in the schools. But our people don't care about that. They care about this fake coronavirus. Read.
As the blind gropeth in darkness.
What?
As the blind gropeth in darkness.
People are blind, man. They can't see right in front of their face that they are God's chosen people, that your God is punishing you right now. But they're too busy walking around with this LGBT spirit on them, trying to walk around like brothers when you actually a woman. I'm going to ask our sisters this. Since you want to be like a man so bad, since you want to walk like a man so bad, want to have that man spirit on you, every time of the month you reminded that you're a woman. Because you got to go to these stores and buy you some pants. Or when you wake up, you got to put on a bra. That reminds you that you're a woman. You're not a man. See, that's the Most High God say, this is a land of confusion. That's why it's called Babylon the Great. Read.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
Most High God said, you're not going to prosper in your ways. You know why? Because we're under a curse. We in sin. We don't want to turn back to our God. We want to continue to please ourselves. We want to continue to please our flesh. That's why the Most High God say, you're going to stay under this curse. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. See, our people want to ride around here in their aluminum foil cars, ignoring what's actually about to happen. The Most High God has dropped judgments on this earth, man. He is about to kill your whole family soon. And he's talking about the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. But they don't care about that. They want to go drive over here at Taco Bell where they selling them rat. They want to go over here to the Chinese Magic Work restaurant where they sell them over there plastic rice. They want to come over here to McKillen where they selling them 15% beef and 80% ammonia. But our people don't care about that as long as they can fill their bellies. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Most High God said, it shall come to pass for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if you do not listen to him, instead of listening to Trump, instead of listening to your flesh, instead of listening to your wife, your husband, your children. Read.
To observe.
To what?
To observe.
That means to read the laws. God gave his chosen people, one nation of people, 613 laws to follow. He didn't give us 10 commandments. Those was just a sum of the 613. He gave us 613 commandments to apply into the nation. Read.
To do all his commandments.
To do something.
To do all his commandments.
To do part.
To do all his commandments.
Read.
And his statutes.
His what?
And his statutes.
Read.
Which I command thee this day.
Most High God said he gave the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians commandments to follow. Our sisters is not following those commandments because they want to wear pants, which puts a manly spirit on them. They don't want to put a dress on with the fringes at the bottom. They don't want to wrap their heads because they want to be whores. And the Most High God said there would be no whores in the kingdom of the Most High God. Hold that there, give me Deuteronomy 23:17. Let's show our sisters and our brothers out here that the Most High God is not playing with them. Because if our sisters continue in these pants, I'm talking to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. If our sisters continue in these pants, wearing these pants, having that stubborn, stiff-necked, rebellious Jezebel spirit on them, the Most High God will burn you out those pants when he break that cloud. The Most High God is a so-called black man, and he's coming back. He has an afro and a beard. He don't have no woolly, doggy, stringy hair like y'all see in these churches, like this sodomite Caesar Borgia picture that you got up in there. He's a so-called black man, and he is pissed the hell off at his people and at this earth. He coming back to bathe the streets with America's blood. Read this out.
There's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
Read.
There shall be no whore.
There shall be no what?
There shall be no whore.
There shall be no what?
No whore.
Read.
Of the daughters of Israel.
The daughters of who?
Of the daughters of Israel.
The daughters of who?
Of the daughters of Israel.
The Catholics?
Of Israel.
The Baptists?
Of Israel.
Seventh-day Adventists?
Of Israel.
Judaism?
Of Israel.
Islam?
Of Israel.
Jehovah's Wickedness?
Of Israel.
Most High God is only dealing with the daughters of Israel. So where do they get this notion in these churches that God is dealing with everybody? Somebody tell me that. Where do they get the notion that God loves everybody when he's only dealing with one nation of people? God doesn't love all these women. All these other nation of women besides the daughters of Israel, they are garbage to him. He only cares about the daughters of Israel, because that's who he's talking about. The Most High God say there will be no whores in the kingdom. See, the so-called white man let our sisters whore themselves out, don't they? They turn our brothers into whoremongers. That's why you got these twerking videos. You got our sisters walking around here all naked, showing their goods to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but they don't care because you know why? The so-called white man says it's good. Brother, hey, brother right here with this cap on your head, you know your nationality? What's your nationality, brother? Me? See, that's what the Most High God say. The Most High God say he's smitten our people with blindness and madness, man. He say, I'm me. Well, let's see if me save you from that famine that's going to be coming. Read.
Nor a sodomite.
Or what?
Nor a sodomite.
Anybody know what a sodomite is? Anybody know what a sodomite is? A sodomite is someone who gives anal pleasure. Butt pluckers. Who's having sex in the butt, which is a degrading and defiled thing. Because the Most High God did not create us to do that. I'm talking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the nation of Israel. Read.
Of the sons of Israel.
Of the who?
Of the sons of Israel.
Who?
Of the sons of Israel.
Homosexuals?
Of the sons of Israel.
LGBT?
Of the sons of Israel.
Transgender?
Of the sons of Israel.
Most High God ain't playing, man. He said there will be no sodomites. There will be no whores in the kingdom. Our sister will dress in modest apparel. It won't be none of that in the kingdom. So, sisters, if you do not want to heed what your God is saying, this is what he's coming here to do. Give me the book of Zephaniah 1 and 8. See, look at this, man. Look, pan that over there. See our people, man? The Most High God has destroyed our people, man. This brother is bugged out, man. That's why brothers like this, he probably a Hamite. He probably a Hamite. He going to the cotton field, man. He's going into the cotton field. Read this out.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 8.
Read.
And it shall come to pass at the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children.
What the Most High God say he's going to punish?
The king's children.
Most High God say he's going to punish the princess and the king's children. He's talking to the nation of Israel. The so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics. Drop dead. 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 Read.
And all as such are clothed with strange apparel.
And also what?
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Our sisters walking around here in them pants.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Our brothers walking around here with these skinny jeans.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Our sisters want to walk around here with them leggings on.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Give me the book of Malachi 4 and 1. You see, the Most High God bringing fire and destruction here to his people. He's not playing with our sisters, man. He's not playing with our brothers, man. The Most High God said he's going to burn America to the ground. And for those who are wearing strange apparel, you're going to burn with America as well. Men, women, children, and babies.
Honor, glory, redemption. Honor, glory, redemption. Honor, glory, redemption. Honor, glory, redemption. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Honor, glory, redemption. Honor, glory, redemption. Honor, glory, redemption.